All right, hello and welcome. I'm Russ Ziegler with Connect Sales Coaching and Consulting. Thank you for joining us for this real quick 30-minute webinar on Connect Dealer 10 Groups. It's an exciting service that's doing a lot of good for a lot of dealers, and I'm happy to be sharing it with you OEMs. A little housekeeping, you started the meeting muted. We'll have an opportunity for questions at the end. Do want to point your attention to the chat. In the chat, we've already got a couple of links there that will make more sense later, but feel free to drop any questions in. And at the end, we can everybody can come off mic and they can ask questions. So, yeah, quick rundown on who Connect is and what we do. So at Connect, we believe that OEMs do not sell to dealers, we sell through dealers. The dealer's not the customer. For the OEM to be more successful, the focus has to be on dealer success. We believe it's the OEM's responsibility to educate, equip, and motivate your dealers. It's unlikely an OEM will build a strong dealer network if they focus on new unit sales alone. You have to focus on whole dealer health. So whole dealer health is the goal and the results of the Connect Dealer 10 groups. So what is a Connect Dealer 10 group? And how does it benefit you and your dealers? So to build a Connect Dealer 10 group, we gather 10 similar non-competing dealers. We put them through a 6-month peer-supported course that drives them to create a data-driven dealership. Each month, we present a new topic with new measurables. We go profit center by profit center, talking about how each business unit fits into the whole business. We talk about each department's role. We go over what needs to be measured. We give general industry benchmarks, and we talk about what outlying numbers might mean. Each month, the dealers leave with a tool that illustrates what needs to be tracked, how to track it, and the ability to document it. They have 3 weeks to dive into their dealership, collect the numbers, then 1 week before the next monthly meeting, they submit their numbers to us. We compile them anonymously and share the numbers at the beginning of the next session. We're available throughout the month to help if they get stuck. And we're available after the results come out one-on-one to talk about the outliers and what might have been the cause and what's the fix. One quick note is that these are not the old dealer 20 groups. So the 20 groups are something that really came to after the 2000s. And it was more of a networking activity, networking, benchmarking, but it was led by a member. This is peer-supported education led by our dealer distribution specialists. So there is some networking, there's a lot of support from your peers, but it's not just a social networking group. So the benefits are pretty self-evident for the dealers. Clear instruction on business factors that matter to the dealers. Dealers come in all shapes and sizes, and a lot have not had formal business training, and even less have had formal business training on running a dealership. So most dealers are just hardworking entrepreneurs that have manhandled their way to success. We teach them this specialized business and help them streamline. We have real tools for them to use in their business. Right in one place, they have the explanation, what we're measuring, why, and a clean way to track it. Peer support, 10 dealers in a virtual room, all doing the same thing. They also get industry knowledge. This is one of the biggest things as an OEM you can provide. You have a broader view than what they can see. So all together, this gives the dealer a clear path on how to improve their business. I'm going to dive into all the details of how we do this and the tools that these dealers get. So the 6-month curriculum, month 1 is Intro, Dashboard, Whole Health. This is a little less learning because we're introducing members to each other. We're introducing ourselves to the members and the members to the dashboard and the concept of profit center tracking. So we talk about each department as a profit center so that they understand the concept that the dealership's job isn't just selling new units with service and parts to support that or parts supporting service. Every one of those departments is a profit center contributing to the profit of the business. So we have a dashboard of whole dealer health that we get into, and we send them off with their first assignment on what to track, how to track, what it means. Month 2 is one of our more complicated months. So month 2, we dive into service. We go through the lesson. We go through what's to be tracked, how to track it. We give them the tool to track it and to report it. Month 3 is sales with a bit of time spent on marketing and customer retention. Month 4 is parts. Month 5 is rental and auxiliary income, depending on who the dealers are, what the auxiliary income might be. And then in month 6, we tie it all back together with dealer whole health again. So this time they've got full understanding of each of the parts, how they fit into the whole business, and they walk away with a detailed plan on how to take the business forward. So profit center by profit center, what are they measuring? What do the measurements mean? And what levers can they pull to improve that? Right, so it's the cadence that builds the capability. So every one of the 2-hour virtual meetings monthly, we teach one revenue center per month. We define 3 to 8 simple metrics that matter. The dealers collect and submit numbers using the tool provided, which is what I'm going to show you next. They compare each other's numbers. So we compile all the numbers, they compare their own numbers to each other. And we're here to support mid-month to help them do this month's tracking. And then after the call to talk about if they have any outlying numbers, what that might have meant. That's each month we build the cadence. All right, so I'm going to jump into our whole dealership tracking and assessment tool. This is the big document that we work from the entire 6 months of the Dealer 10 group. This is the dashboard, and I'm going to give you just a layout of what this tool does. Down here at the bottom, we've got all the tabs. We have a glossary of terms. So every measurable is mentioned here, where it's located in the tabs, the description of it, and then the formula on how to find it. So I've highlighted just one here, absorption rate. It's used to measure what percentage of costs are covered by gross profit from parts, service, and rental. As new unit sales is the most turbulent part of the business, absorption rate is at least 10% will ensure the survival of the business. So it gives the measurable, where it can be found, why they care, and then the formula and how it can be measured. So month 1 is in here in the dashboard. We don't send them off to track all of these. It's, like I said, 3 to 8, depending on the level of the class we've put together, the group we've put together. Some other things about this, every measurable has a reference number, so you can jump back into the glossary. If the dealer gets stuck, they can jump into the glossary and find out where that is, how to track it, formula, all of that. And then each tab also does have a calculator tab. So when they calculate their gross profit margin, click a link, it can jump right into the calculator tab and feedback to here. Each profit center has their own tab. So this is the service department assessment and tracking, all of the measurables. So you'll see the title of the measurable, the reference number where it can be found in the glossary, our industry benchmarks. And then if we want to be pushing this number up or down, or if we want to hit that target pretty well, the dealer enters their score and any special notes. Special notes will be if we didn't have data available or other things the dealer find while they're tracking it. Yep, separate tabs for each profit center. So we've got service, sales, parts, rental, auxiliary, and then we also have customer retention. Jumping back into the PowerPoint, that's the tools. Next up is a sample of the curriculum. So like I went through the cadence of every call, we do instruction. Sorry, we do the recap of previous month's numbers. Then we do instruction, and then we show them the tool for that month and send them off to track their numbers. So this is just an example of the curriculum laying out one of those measurables. So sales mix by profit center, definition of it, and why it matters, and then an illustration. This is one that I like because it helps get the dealer's mind around dealer whole health, that it isn't service supporting sales and it isn't parts supporting service. Each one exists as a profit center, and to grow the whole profit, we grow each profit center's contribution. So it's about a third of the call is spent on instruction, and a third of it is on recap, and a third of it is on the next month's tracking tools. So we have 2 different types of groups. We've got OEM specific and market-wide groups. Both of them have advantages, not really a downside to either one. But of the OEM specific, we've got two different types as well. We've got sponsored and non-sponsored. And so the OEM specific, we form entirely from a single OEM's network. Dealers are highly similar. They have aligned strengths, needs. If it's sponsored, we can actually hone the content to your dealers and what you might want them to know. We also, when it's OEM sponsored, we can train the staff on the curriculum so that after we send them home, your territory managers will be able to contribute and understand and help them pull those levers. We also have market-wide groups. So these are just formed from dealers at large. Provides really powerful cross-product and cross-industry networking, creates opportunities to learn from different segments, deliver diverse perspectives. It's just really neat to see, a power sports dealer talk to a golf car dealer, talk to a marine dealer, or a construction dealer talk to a material handling dealer. Just a lot of different advantages that can be brought from that. I'm going to jump in and show you what the application looks for this. Looks like for this. So real simple online, and I'll point you back to the chat. The link to this application is in the chat. Also, the link to the landing page that has a PDF of a lot of information is also in the chat. So once the dealer has decided they want to join a dealer 10 group, we send them to the dealer application here. 5 sections. Section 1 is contact info. They enter their name, their dealer, their title within the dealership, the website. All of this is so we can get to know them and then go research the dealer on our own to help match them. Section 2 is the dealer profile. So what are they selling, both the type and the brand? What is their annual revenue? How many locations, corporate ownership, how many years in business, years of business of the leadership? Get us a wide view of what this dealership is, where they come from, all of that. Section 3 is operational readiness. And so you can see the questions here: comfort level with spreadsheets, comfort level with accounting concepts. I'm going to tell you in a moment here how we match these groups and build them for powerful engagement. We get all of this information self-reported from the dealership. Section 4, what their goals are, why they're joining the group. This will help us on how driven they are, what they're driven to do, all of that. And then Section 5, agreement. Just as they agree to meet every month and they agree to share their info for the strength of the group. Yeah, real simple. This, if they put a lot of time into it, 10, 15 minutes, and then we can take those numbers and build the group. Let me jump back into the PowerPoint. So how we build groups. So we shared earlier, we have a group of 10 dealers as similar as possible that do not compete with each other. So there's 4 non-negotiables we have, really. Most important considerations are revenue. So the size of the revenue the dealership brings in is an indicator of a lot of other things. So we try to match revenue as close as possible. Next factor is B2B, B2C. The science and techniques behind running a dealership are very similar, but the way they present themselves to the consumers can differ. So B2B, B2C. So you've got your construction equipment dealers and your material handling dealers that are selling to businesses. You've got your marine, RV, golf cart, power sports selling to consumers. That's another. We try to keep B2B, B2C in their own groups. Another non-negotiable is non-competing. So we cannot have dealers in these groups sharing openly and honestly with a competitor in the room. So that goes into the geography, the offering, all of those things we asked for in the application will help us put them in the right group. And then operational readiness. That we are happy to work with beginners, that we start out by defining what is gross profit, what is net, what is all of the accounting terms. We're happy to start at the first step. We don't want them in the same room as a dealer that has a full-time CFO and is a trained accountant and all of that. So those are the non-negotiables. Other factors where we just try to get them as similar as possible. What they're selling, years in business, number of locations, business type. If they're big city, if they're small town. Then funny one is the time zone. But yeah, you grab a dealer from New York and LA, you have trouble finding a cooperative meeting time. So at the bottom there, we work to match the right dealers together so conversations are relevant, benchmarks are meaningful, and the members can challenge and support each other. Relatable groups just add a lot to the value. The investment. This is a really easy investment for some really high gains. So $300 per dealer per month. Even your smallest unsophisticated dealers can benefit from this kind of investment. We do incentivize the dealers to pay in full at the beginning, not because I want their money as much as I want their commitment. So a dealer that is paid upfront, if they get a little frustrated, get a little too challenged, get a little more time crunch than they thought, if they've already paid, they're going to track their numbers, they're going to show up and learn, and they're going to stick to it. So a little bit of a discount for the full payment. Sponsored groups, if you're going to want to hone content, pricing might be a little different. If you want to sign up 36 dealers, investment might be a little different. Neat concept we see from OEMs is let them use their co-op dollars. So they can buy, branded hats, or they can invest in whole dealer health. So let them use those co-op dollars to join the Connect Dealer 10 group and support that dealer whole health. We have 2 groups right now we're trying to round out before an October start date. So one is predominantly golf cart dealers, but any B2C comparable would help. Revenue dollars in that group, as it's shaping up right now, is about 1 to 3 million in revenue, more than 4 years in business, mid to low operational readiness, B2C being 90% of their business. So a little bit of commercial sales is possible. Many geographies open for us to have non-competes in place. And then the other group we're building is a construction material handling. So that's going to be a B2B group, $15 to $30 million revenue, 5 to 10 years in business, single location ideal, 2 or 3 would be fine, mid operational readiness. So these are 2 groups that we've got members signed up, and we're just trying to find more members so we can get going on an October start date, probably targeting the end of October to start that group. All that info, next steps, so I wanted to just throw a lot of information at you today. Next steps, if this is interesting, you want more info, message me or stay on the call. I do have another 30 minutes after this is done. So if you want to build an OEM sponsored group, so get all of your people together, let's do a one-on-one talk about that. If you're not sponsoring, but you think this is going to be a good thing for your dealers, we're doing a dealer-facing webinar next Wednesday. So hit me up either in the chat, email, phone, and I can send you a link, and you can share that with your dealers. So we'll get the dealers on. We'll go more in depth to the actual curriculum and content for the dealers. You guys need at the high level. They need a little more down in the weeds. Send them towards the application, get them to give all that information, and we will put them in the right group. So in the chat, again, is a link to the landing page where you can download the PDF that you can send to your dealers. There's also the application right there in the chat as well. So if you're not real familiar with Connect, we do everything dealer distribution. So there's 2 services that really border this service right on the border. We have the Connect Dealer Optimization. So that's the white glove version of the Dealer 10 groups. So it's hands-on 90-day dealer rescue. We use basically the same tool, but we get inside and we do the work with them. We go through all the measurables, we identify any outliers or red flags, we find the root cause, and we pull the levers to get it moving in the right direction. So these Dealer 10 groups often will produce some dealers that identify themselves as needing more support. So they get in month 1, month 2. They love the concept, but they're in over their heads, just trying to keep things going. That's when the Connect Dealer Optimization is a good call. A lot of you might be thinking, hey, shouldn't our territory managers be doing this? I know I recognize a couple people on the call that might be thinking that. Yes, they can, they should, that's great. If your territory managers are equipped. So our territory manager L&D track TM101, TM201, TM301 teaches them dealer whole health, teaches them about the numbers, how you measure them, what they mean, what the outliers mean, and levers to pull. So yes, your territory managers can be doing this. You lose the peer support of a Dealer 10 group, but it's a good idea for your territory managers to be able to speak this language and pull these levers. So yes, we have the L&D Academy for your territory managers to do that. Probably don't need to illustrate this for you if you've listened to this. what does this mean for an OEM? What is your payoffs? Why would you want this? So more revenue per dealer. If they have their house in order, if they are profitable, they're going to be selling more equipment. Stronger, more stable. So you're going to have less churn, fewer dealer replacements. Your territory managers spend time growing, not talking about these little measurables. And then loyalty of a thankful dealer. So if you're a short line and you're competing with other brands within your dealerships, and you're the one that brings the dealer 10 group and you're preaching dealer whole health, that's going to put you above. When they go to decide what am I going to sell this morning, they're going to pull out your brochure first because you're the one that brought them this. So yeah, really good OEM payoffs at a really small investment if you choose to sponsor these groups. All right, that's all the content I had to throw at you in 25 minutes. This is the web address. If you can't get to the chat, you can screenshot this, get in there, download the PDF. I am available for a little while here for some questions. What do you have for me? Jamie, thanks for jumping on. Sorry you missed the beginning.
Oh no, it was good stuff, Russ. I got Steve sitting with me as well, if you can hear us.
So, oh, hey Steve, excellent. Thanks, guys.
Hey, buddy.
I think you probably have some dealers right in that revenue size and years in business. We might be able to get them into a group.
Is this Russ? So this group, and they're starting in October, correct? That first session.
Mm-hmm.
As far as that is that form that they fill out, is that something you could send us electronically?
Yep. So it lives online, so I can send you the link. Jump in the chat. Can you see the chat feature there?
Yes, sir. I'm in it right now.
Yeah, go ahead and click on that and save it to your homepage. So that is live form online. Dealer can fill it out and hit submit.
Fantastic. Now, I think it's a good idea. I think dealer collaboration, especially knowing they're not going to be sharing confidential information to their competitor down the road, I think there can be a ton of value in that. Some of the dealers have their buddies, as I quote unquote, their buddies that they talk to in different markets, but I feel it's more gossipy versus true like business initiatives to actually grow the business, right? So I think this is much more purposeful. I think it will be good.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, those dealers that have their buddies. So being a dealer can be a pretty lonely position. That they'll make friends at your dealer meetings and things like that. Funny story right now, that golf cart group started with one dealer and then 4 of his buddies from across the country that he engaged, he liked it, called a bunch of other dealers, and they're going to jump on too. And that is the difference between the old 20 groups and the Connect Dealer 10 group. It's not member led and it's not just networking, socializing. It's plain curriculum. We're going to upskill them. Couple questions from the chat. So time to organize, launch an OEM sponsored group. So we have the content ready. We can start immediately upon getting people signed up and settling on the monthly meeting time. So it's really fast turnaround on that. If you're an OEM and you want to add a lot of your own content, depending on how organized your content is, how different it is from what we have, could be a month or 2, which if we start working dual paths where we identify the members, get them to sign the applications or go through the applications at the same time we're going through content adaptation and addition, probably about 8 weeks is a really safe timeline to go on that. Yeah, how many OEMs on the call have dealers spend all of their co-op dollars every year? I don't know if that's silence because of non-participation or because no OEM ever has their dealers use all their co-ops. Am I right, Jamie and Steve?
Very, very correct in that statement. Probably, yep. I bet 15% of dealers use all their co-op.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and that's great. Those dealers use the co-op. We talk about what they used it for. It might be pens and hats and maybe a tent. whole dealer health and all that instruction, really good ROI.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for your time today. I can hang out longer, or otherwise hit me up one-on-one. Yeah, some neat stuff happening here.
Russ, what do you anticipate time vested with these dealers month to month that go ahead and join your program? Like if we were to set expectations, say, hey, you're going to invest roughly X amount of time per month, and obviously it can be more based off your conversations with these dealers in this network of 10, right?
Yeah, yep. I would say, it varies so much. So there's some dealers that go to their DMS and they run a report and they fill it in, and that's 30 minutes of work. Those aren't the ones that really need this program. So I would expect probably 2 times as much time offline as online to gather the numbers. So if they don't have a DMS and a report ready to run, they're going to spend 4 hours in that next 3 weeks gathering the numbers, documenting the data. After that, we talk about levers to pull. Making changes that improve the numbers don't take a lot of time. It takes a little more discipline. That one of the numbers we track is technician efficiency. Sorry, technician productivity. So billable hours compared to hours paid. Doesn't take a lot of time, but it takes discipline of making sure the technicians are working on billable work versus non-billable work. So, yeah, good question, Jamie. And it varies on their sophistication. And the less sophisticated, the more learning they have to do, the more time they're going to have to dedicate.
Sure.
Also, though, if they're tracking 0 numbers and we can get them to track 3 numbers, that's a win. Yeah, so if they've only got 2 hours to commit and they only do some of the tracking, that's okay too.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, I hear silence. We'll go ahead and call it there. You've all got my contact info. Hit me if I can help at all.
You bet. Thank you, Russ. Appreciate the invite, sir. Have a great day.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Russ.
Thanks, Joe. Talk soon.
All right, bye.